Join your fellow Starseeds, Lightworkers, and Experiencers at the 2024 Full Disclosure Now Conference, this July 15th to 18th. This conference will be a fun and positively life-changing experience for so many. In addition to 4 days and nights of presentations, there will be special event dinners, dancing, fun time on the beach, UFO night watch tours, film screenings, vendors, and more at the lovely Serrata Beach Resort on St. Pete Beach, Florida. Over 34 Montauk Project survivors, Secret Space Program whistleblowers, ET contactees, and psychic healers will be presenting in the name of the Full Disclosure Movement. The truth must be revealed if we're all to achieve our Star Trek future here and now. Get your event passes and book your stay now at fulldisclosuremovement.org.
You want to learn about CE5 and extraterrestrial contact? Download my new book, now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple, and 14 other platforms. Book authored by Donald Ledesma. CE5, Frequencies of Contact.
Alien Strand Podcast.
What's up, guys? This is Mike Beavers from The Theory, and you are listening to Alien Strand Podcast, the dopest UFO alien podcast out there. And if you want to find out about me, just go on YouTube and search UFOs over UFO or The Theory with Mike Beavers. Stay tuned, guys.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Alien Strand Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Ledesma, and welcome to today's show. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for sure, man. For sure. Like the way we used to say it back in the day. For sure, man. You know, I'm an 80s kid, man. That's what it's that's what that is. I am having such a great day today. You know, I always have a good day. I don't know why. I mean, I'll get one every once, or I'll get a bad one every once in a while. But you know what? Today, I think it's a good day. You know why? Because everybody's listening to Alien Strand Podcast here on Audio Spreaker. And, and we are on Spotify, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Deezer, Alexa, Apple Podcasts. I like 29 of these things, man. And if you guys don't know this already by now, we actually have a Rumble there. If you'd like to watch us on video, go to our Rumble there, and it's free, man. You can go just look for Alien Strand Podcast. They're on Rumble, right? Go check it out there, and then just follow us, man. And then every time we get a new podcast out, a video podcast, you'll see it pop up. Every once in a while, I'll do just an audio podcast, just like I'm doing here today. I mean, of course, this one's about Ryan Keaton. This is actually a pre-recorded podcast. I thought it was important for me to get it out to you guys, and because there was a lot of important things that he had to say. The recording was kind of but you know what? It's okay. I just want you guys to understand that, the information and disclosure is there. We were having a lot of issues when, we when I started interviewing him. I don't know if it was Big Brother or was it just he didn't have no headphones, man. He didn't have no headphones for a little bit there. If you watch the video, there was an echo, a large echo. I guess it was his laptop, but it was okay. We got it fixed out. The second 30 minutes of it. So what you're going to hear today is the only second 30 minutes of the actual interview that I did with Ryan Keaton. Now, if you don't know who Ryan Keaton is, he has a Facebook called 210 UFO, and he's got it on TikTok as well, 210 UFO. What he does is he puts live podcasts of these objects that are floating above his skyline, above his house, really, in reality. So if you don't know who he is, he's in our film, The Middle Part 2, CE3, which is now on Amazon Prime. All right, so if you go to Amazon Prime, look for The Middle Part 2, CE3. You'll see it there. Go watch it. It's about 48 minutes. And after it's all done, click a big old thumbs up on that, and then just give us a review on your Amazon app, okay? Because you can't do it off the TV. You actually got to do it off your phone. Now, you heard the commercials about my book, CE5 Frequencies of Contact. You can actually get that on Amazon Prime as well. No, Amazon Prime. You can get it there, or your Kindle. So if you got a Kindle, you still got one of those, go check it out. Look for Frequencies of Contact, CE5 Frequencies of Contact, and you'll see it. Or just Google my name, Donald Ledesma. You'll see it pop up, right? You can download it, or just download the Kindle app if you got an iPhone, Android, and then just look for it there. The book is only like $3.99. It's only like 70 pages long, very short book. But it's a guidebook, and it teaches you how to CE5, do all the protocols, meditation, and how to connect with these extraterrestrial entities, right? Or ships, right, as we call them. So I hope you guys are having a great, amazing day, as we talked about, and I hope you've watched these films. And just remember, there's going to be links to these films. All my links, you're going to see it at the very bottom on this podcast. I'm going to say all my links. Look at that. That's going to have links to the movies, the books, all my social media, and even Ryan Keaton's as well, all right? So I'll put a separate link just for him on there, and you can find him there. But, this was a great conversation that I had with him, and I hope you guys really enjoy this podcast today. And actually, I got a book by another author. It's called SESG Explorer, right? Written by Christopher Lorick. He's an author. This is one of many of his books. He just sent it to me. I just got it in, Chris. If you're listening to this podcast, I just got it, man. So give me a couple of weeks to read it. We'll get him on the show, man. So if you guys have a chance, go look him up. Christopher Lorick, Loric. Go check it out and look at his books. He's got a recent one just came out. I just gave you the title. Go download it, and enjoy his work. All right. So, without further ado, I'm going to play this pre-recorded track that we had discussion about 2-3 nights ago. And I want you guys just to listen in on his disclosure and how he feels about disclosure, and then everything that comes along with it, right? So, and it's kind of difficult for him sometimes, and it's difficult for a lot of people to talk about their disclosure, right? But he gets to talk about it, and we joke around a little bit during this conversation, which is great. I love to joke around. As you know me, man. I just love to do that. But anyway, let's get back into the seriousness of it, and let's get this podcast going, right? So here we go. We're going to listen into this conversation, about 28, 30 minutes long. I hope you enjoy this conversation I had with Mr. Ryan Keaton. All right, here we go. But I can hear you now with no echo, brother.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no
Good.
echo. Right on.
I stole my wife's headphones.
Good for you. Hey, tell her we'll owe her some headphones.
Yeah, right?
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Miss Keaton.
For real.
So anyway, let's talk about these things that you're seeing over your house daily, right?
Yeah. So one night, this was a weirder night than usual because there's a few that I know that I've taken pictures of out front of my house, but they were a lot lower in the sky, and I didn't know they were anything yet. I was just kind of like, they look different. Maybe there's something.
Right.
I go out and I'm kind of watching them, and they look like they're floating in water. And I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I'm tripping out. So I go get my neighbor that used to fly helicopters in Vietnam. He's a lawyer now. I said, hey, come out and look at this for me and check it out. And he's like, yeah, they're moving. And then there's one that's above my house. It's been there ever since I started seeing all of this. Always in the same spot. I zoom in. I think it was all the way to 100%. I take the picture. It's just the light. But I notice it's real dark around the light, a lot darker than the sky.
Right.
So I change the brightness and bam, there it is. And that one, I know I can get every night. It's in the same spot. But what I've noticed is the light that's on them,
right?
All the other diamonds I've taken pictures of, and I'm up to 7 now, I believe.
Wow.
Different diamonds in different spots. All the lights are the same. Now, when I look above my house, there's a lot of them that all look like that. And that's what I'm starting now. I'm going to take a picture of, northeast and kind of go around and go above my head. And I'm going to map it all out and see how many there actually are up there and kind of document it a little bit better than I had been.
Right. No, I mean, you're doing a great job because what you've been sending us in our instant messenger, through ASDP, that how you're catching these things, and sometimes you throw the map out of the, there's no aircraft in the area, things like that, how these things are just kind of showing themselves. Now, I was talking to everybody out there on the video that you have on the way these things are, right? Like how they're not showing themselves as far as like once you get to 9 or whatever, it's not there anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me show this first. This is one of the crafts that you caught out there in San Antonio. I guess this was a couple of days ago, maybe. And let's go ahead and show that real quick. It's about 32 seconds long. All right, tell us a little bit about when was this and how do you caught this?
So, actually, me and Annabelle were talking the other day about the diamond thing.
Okay.
He wanted a video of what it was, and that's the one that's above my house.
Okay.
And you can kind of tell, and the camera doesn't do it justice. When you're looking at it with your eyes, it changes a whole bunch of color, blue, red, yellow. It's a lot of colors. And you can see when it flickers, it almost goes completely out. And then it gets extremely bright. It's just, it doesn't look right. So that's when Annabelle actually went in and did the
analysis,
the conversion of it. And you can see how that little light is moving.
Okay.
And it's doing and changing shapes.
Wow. Well, let's show that since we have the analysis of it. So let's check this out. Yeah. Yeah, you could see the EMF on it.
Mm-hmm. And you can notice too that when I'm filming it, it skips.
Right.
And they'll when I go to take pictures of whatever these diamond things are, I'll put it on the tripod so a lot more steady, and they'll jump across the screen and not move in the sky, but in the camera it'll jump. It's strange. And it takes me 4 or 5 shots to get one still enough to actually get the diamond to pull out of it.
Right.
I've had pictures where I take pictures of what I know is the diamond that's up there, and I go to adjust the picture, and the whole picture is pixelated, like something was screwing with it.
Wow.
But, it could be just the camera too, so...
Yeah, I mean, you got a really nice camera. I know that's for sure. But it still, I mean, you just never know what these the electronic magnetic fields on these things, man, are just kind of they go nuts.
You can see the circle around the diamond in the diamond pictures.
Right, and I'm gonna show this picture real quick. There it is. I don't know if you can see. This is the one you just that blue one at the dead center of the screen right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them that you've caught, and you know it's
and
just.
I've got that diamond there. I've actually got it in 2 shots. For one, the light is red, and the other, the light is blue. So it goes to show that it's changing color.
Wow. What time of day do these things are more active?
At night, from the minute it gets dark till when it gets light in the day, and they sit in the same spot, and they don't move very much. They just sit there.
Wow.
And they look like there's some that are lower in altitude, but you can tell that there's some up higher just because of how dim they are.
Right.
I've taken a picture of one further away. The light blocked out the whole bottom of the diamond, but you can still see the top part.
Wow. Are you experiencing any kind of like weird, any more weird stuff that's happening in your house ever since we left?
About a week ago now, I woke up out of a dead sleep, and in the corner of my bedroom, about the size of my fist, was a ball of light. And as soon as I woke up, it flew out the back wall.
Oh, crap.
I've had some stuff happen with like feeling vibrations, especially when I lay down to go to sleep. I feel like vibrations. Ears ringing, just the normal stuff like that. Nothing too crazy.
Wow. So have you, you haven't had any more paralysis kind of stuff like that when you're asleep, anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
Okay. I know you explained it.
I have dreams, some weird dreams. Yeah. I've had some dreams of like the world ending in a bad way, stuff blowing up and stuff like that, but nothing, no paralysis or anything like that.
Wow. And that's the part that everybody needs to understand when they see. I showed the part of you in the film already when you start explaining about these things that you catch up in the sky. It's some people already bought them the movie because they loved it and they wanted to see it again. Because your story is amazing, man. It's not just somebody that's talking crap because you're not. You're seeing these things every freaking day, man. Every day, man. Like clockwork. And then on top of that, you have friends that are around you. You're ex-military, and there's friends around you that are probably still in the military or whatever, and they see these things and then they can like, I didn't see that, or I don't want to see that, right? Mm-hmm. They have that kind of thing about that, right? Is it because of the because of where they're at, at a point in their life that they don't want to lose that part, I
think more people are actually seeing it. I think they're scared to come out and say something. Like the other day, I posted one of the diamond pictures on the Dr. Greer support group deal. Right. And, I had never seen so many rude people, in a row. And I'm like, you weren't there to begin with. Most of these people aren't photo experts. They just, people don't want to get that crazy name tossed at them just because they're seeing something. And I'm hoping that, people like me that can come out and say that, believe what your eyes are seeing. There's something there. Don't be scared to come out. There's more good people than there are bad. I think that's one good thing about this whole process. I've met some pretty cool individuals through this whole process, and I've learned a lot. But, as soon as people come out of their shell and are able to talk a little bit more without the fear of being shunned or being called crazy, I think they'll come out a little bit more.
And that's true. That is a true statement. Just kind of expressing what you've seen to some people, and now I think more people are starting to embrace the ufology part of it now, because we've talked about it before. It's all in the government's already starting to say, okay, yeah, well, there's something out there. We just don't know what it is. This thing, moved from 50,000 feet to 1 foot above the water in a split second. We don't know. Mm-hmm. We don't know what it is, right? But we have it on film. So I think that's what kind of got the people to get them to understand a little bit better about people that do see these things and not call them crazy or try to make fun of them. Now we all know there's trolls out there, brother.
Mm-hmm.
There's trolls on every one of these groups. I don't care, but the thing is about a lot of those support groups, and if they're not monitoring those trolls, they shouldn't even have that page, because we monitor our pages like vigilant. You know what I mean? If we see somebody start talking crap, you're out.
Yeah.
We get rid of you. We take you off as many groups as possible.
It should be a safe place. It takes a lot to say something about it. At first I didn't want to, I didn't want to, but somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to kind of, keep it going, because it'll get lost if you don't.
Right.
But, we need to encourage each other and kind of teach each other how to do this, because we can learn a lot. I only can do so much, going through the chats and stuff and being able to talk to Annabelle and, Terry, and he puts his input in there, and, you can kind of take a little bit from everyone and kind of mold it into your own and keep learning. But, people aren't going to do that if they don't feel comfortable coming out at all.
Exactly. And that's what these groups are for, like you said, Alien Strand Disclosure Project. And if anybody wants to join Alien Strand Disclosure Project, please answer all the questions, man. Answer all the freaking questions, because if you don't answer them all, we can't let you in. But I mean, just be sure you do that, so that way we can all talk. And then Ryan's on there. Everybody's on these pages, man. And to be able to talk to him or Anibal or Chris Hamill or Terry Lynch or anybody that you see on the films, right? They're all there, man. And they don't try to be like celebrities or anything like that. You just want to get your story out, man, and just show people, hey, these things are real. There's things out there like this, some are
it's
good.
Just like Robert, man. I still talk to Rob. Robert's been getting some really, really crazy stuff over the past few weeks. It's funny. Even Annabelle was saying it in the chat that we're all seeing different stuff now. It's all increased in activity, and it's different shaped craft, and it's not just one of us that's experiencing that. It's all of us.
Exactly.
So it's nice to go somewhere and be like, hey, are you guys seeing the same thing, or am I just losing it? It's good to be able to go in there and talk through stuff and make sure that you're still there and you're still trying to learn and keep it going. But that's what I love about you guys is it seems like almost at any time at least one person's in there to talk to.
Yeah, that's true. Because they connect with you right away, like they know how you're feeling, or they're experiencing the same things you're experiencing, and sometimes we leave you all alone. If you guys start once, I noticed that in our chats that once you guys start talking, I back off, everybody backs off and lets y'all talk. You know what I mean? Because that way you can kind of put the two and two together, or if you got if you're doing an investigation, maybe it'll work out better that way. Instead of us putting our input in and kind of confusing the situation, right? And I think sometimes it's best that way too. Unless we have something to contribute to the thing as well.
I think rule number one about this whole UFO deal is it's not going to be one person that solves it. It's going to be a group of us. It's going to take a group of us to get on a path to figure this stuff out. It's not going to be one person. It's strength in numbers, especially when it comes to this, because the more people you have seeing it, the more reports you get. The more people are seeing things, the more of a norm it comes, and then people come around and they start opening their eyes and seeing it also. So it's going to take time, but I think we're on the right track.
Exactly. Yeah, we are on the right track. I believe so. And with people like you and then everybody out there, now, so you said that when you go live, do you go at a certain time, or is it just anything like that?
Lately, it's been about 9 o'clock, between 9 and 9:15. Usually go for anywhere from 35, 45 minutes. If it gets real busy, we've done 2-3 hour streams before.
Wow.
Yeah, so it just depends. The weather has a lot to do with it. Especially the clouds roll in. They hide really easily in the clouds. So I usually try to post on the page before I go live. But it can be pretty crazy at times. We've seen some pretty crazy stuff.
Wow. Wow. And yeah, because I mean, when I'm watching you, these things are just like right
Yeah,
there,
they're all over the place.
all over the place, man. And that's why when I see you come on now, I mean, it's strange because we were talking about this earlier behind the scenes before we came on live. That when he goes on live, sometimes it almost seems like there's nobody watching, but sometimes we think that they kind of shut us down a little bit so you guys don't see what's going on, right? And
Whitley Strieber comes in my stream quite often.
Oh, nice.
Through the John, I know a gentleman he in the early '90s. He was real big into UFOs and stuff, and I linked up with him before I met y'all. And we did a podcast with Whitley, and he comes out every now and then, and he'll comment and stuff and talk with everybody.
Wow. Well, that's good, man. I mean, I seen his blogs and stuff on his webpage because you kind of shared that with me a little bit, so I was able to see that as well. And I was like, wow, at least he's out there, talking with people. Not just because he's a celebrity, he really is. He's really a good celebrity, but not very many celebrities or whatever mingle in with the people. But I think he's doing it because of the disclosure that comes along with it, right?
He lives here in San Antonio.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know where, but I know he's from here and grew up here, and then I guess he went to New York and did all that other stuff up there. But he's a really nice guy.
Wow. Well, that's good. I know I showed this video last week, but I want to show it again, and I know you saw it, Ryan. But I just love this video, man, and I have to show it, man. It's just that one of the French people and that UFO just flies over them. Mm-hmm. So let's just go and watch that again, because people, if you haven't seen this, if you're watching today, you got to see this. Check this out.
C'est quoi ce truc? C'est quoi ce truc? Maman, viens voir.
C'est quoi l'histoire?
Ouais, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Ben regarde là-haut.
Ah.
Oh mon Dieu. Ben je sais pas. C'est quoi ce truc?
C'est un bordel.
Mais ça bouge.
Putain, mais ça me fait pas le bordel.
Oh.
Aïe, aïe. Attends. Alors.
Trop bizarre.
Ouais.
Aïe.
Oh putain.
That's just crazy, man.
They're not hiding, bro. I'm telling you, everywhere I go, it's insane.
Yeah, and that almost looks like the color that we saw over there when we were filming you that day.
Yeah.
Or that night. And it was only like, what, about 8 o'clock at night or 7:30?
Yeah, it had just gotten dark.
Yeah, when we saw something like that. I mean, when you see something like that up close with your own eyes, you're not looking at it through because a camera lens, like you said, these cameras, sometimes they don't do it justice, unless you got a really, really good, whatever kind of camera. But even our cameras were struggling because it was kind of dark out there. But to catch something like that, like literally fly over you and then do some somersaults and take off like that, man, that's just nuts. It's crazy.
Once I get a bigger group together, I'm going to get a skywalk together, because that's one of the main things I say on the live is what I'm seeing with my eyes and what I know you see on camera, it does no justice. If you were here and saw how the light was blinking in and out, like the diamond things, and saw how it flickered and how the light is,
right,
you would know it's not right. Humans have been here for however long they've been here, thousands and thousands of years. So it's in your mind and your body what should be up there. And I think, as time goes on, you get used to what's up there. So when something changes, it's just something in your gut. You just know something's not right. And that's a lot of the feeling I get when I go out and I start looking at these things, and I start looking and it doesn't look right. It doesn't look real. Something's not right here. And that's the whole part of going out and doing this, is trying to find an answer. And then in the meantime, you get some pretty cool pictures out of it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell people what they're seeing, if they're not really seeing it out there. You have to literally, like you said, do a Skywatch group where they can go out there. If you live in San Antonio and you want to reach out to Ryan, or he's going to get this thing together, and then that way you can get a group of people out there and they can all witness these things together. And so that way, like you said, with a group of people makes more of a difference than one person, because, that way they can say, hey man, I'm not wearing a tinfoil hat. Yeah. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Like the video, I just showed the video of the extraterrestrial with the orb, right, a little while ago while you were off, and people were telling that person that they were crazy. That you're nuts. You're not, you're not quite right in the head. But look at the video I just showed. Right, they have the video of the orb floating there, the extraterrestrial standing in the background, but they're supposed to be crazy, right?
Mm-hmm. That's how it goes.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, right? Like how people can actually think that way, that this person, whatever they're going through, and then. I've talked about this at the very beginning in podcasts before, but it almost brings your spirit down in a sense. It makes you kind of sad, because it's like, man, I'm trying to express myself. I'm trying to show people what I'm seeing. I know I'm not freaking crazy. And then when I do this, some folks knock me down, and then they don't want to come out. They don't want to come out anymore, right? Because they're afraid of that same backlash. It's horrible.
I think the best advice you can get during this is believe what your eyes are seeing. I think all the rest of it will kind of fall into place as soon as people get to see your pictures. And that's kind of how it started for me, is I just started putting my stuff out there. And then, I met you, I met some really good people that are experiencing the same thing I am. And that's what you really need to find, is that group that knows what you're talking about. They don't make you feel crazy, because they experience it themselves. And hopefully she gets into a spot where she can get that, and right. And it'll help her out tremendously. So
yeah, and I've seen a couple of her videos, broad daylight, man, or you can see these things even in the afternoon, just like you're around dusk or whatever. You can see these things clear as day, and I don't know how people can just treat a person like that, not thinking that these things are not real when they are real. And I do get it. It does. Like when you first saw these things, I know you got overexcited and things like that, and then it made you kind of want to hunt these things, like to try to find the answers, right? Like, yeah, almost like, I'm not going to say obsession, but
it's there. It could be there. I took a break there for a few months, because if I didn't, I was going to go crazy. Right. You start looking at this stuff flying in the sky, and there's been some pretty strange things that have happened. You try to find an answer for it, and you're just like, I can't find an answer, and you just keep pushing harder and harder and harder, and finally you just you have to step away, or it'll drive you to the nut house. Yeah, it really will.
Exactly. Yeah, it will. And I'm just glad, like I said, there's people that support you out there, and then myself supports you, and everybody out there of what you're doing, because it's not easy to do these things, right? And then, of course, work a regular job like we all do. We all have regular jobs or whatever. And without people saying, man, what's going on with this dude? Is something wrong? Something wrong?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I've gotten to a point now where you call me crazy. I'm whatever. I really don't care. If you're more than welcome to come over here. I'll show you.
Yeah.
But I don't even listen to them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. Because I have people too that kind of look at me kind of strange at the same time, because I've been doing this for such a long time. And then when my wife talks to some people, friends of hers, and what did your husband do? Well, he makes documentaries. About what? Extraterrestrial. he wrote a book about what? Extraterrestrials. It's like, but now most of them are like, wow, that's cool. I want to follow him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because everybody's kind of into that now.
It's slowly changing, I believe. Yeah,
I believe the acceptance is there now to where people can do that. But you know what? I'm just glad that you're still doing it, brother. And it's just, how can people find you other than where you go?
Well, I have my Facebook 210 UFO. I have a TikTok 210 UFO, and then that's it. I don't have a YouTube or anything right now. I'm not in this to make money. I just like sharing what I get. And if you want help or you need assistance in anything, any of us are more than welcome to help. So all you got to do is ask. Don't be afraid to ask. We don't mind at all.
Exactly. We love to help, actually. A lot of people do reach out to me as well. And they get a little upset with me because sometimes I don't get to answer right away, and then they say I'm not going to be your friend no more. But I don't do it on purpose. And like I tell them, I said, look, there's you guys too that are part of ASDP. We have you, we have who's that? Janelle, we have Anibal, a bunch of people, Cindy Grigsby, Chris Hamill. Everybody's.
We
out
probably
there.
all need to come on here more and talk more with you because they see you a lot, so you
Right.
kind of get that trust. Kind of from them seeing you. They've never seen me, but in a video, and they don't really get to see what the kind of person I am. So, maybe we all need to jump on here at some point, kind of introduce ourselves, and maybe it'll make people feel more welcome.
That's a true statement. I didn't even think about it that way, but yeah, that's a great point. And I think, and I was thinking about that too, kind of like, maybe get some other people in the film and just whoever wants to come on and just kind of talk about it. But, has your family seen the film as well?
Yeah, everyone's seen it. They love it. John saw it up there. I'm trying to get everyone to buy it and go watch it, even if they don't like it or not. I don't really care. Just watch it. Give it a 10 at the end.
Yeah. Well, it's true. Give us some thumbs up, stars, go to your Amazon Prime and, just say, hey, I loved it, because it's and really in reality, I think it's a very good disclosure documentary. It's not about the money and it's not about anything like that because, we never recover anything that we put into things like that. But,
no.
What I try to do is I try to help as many people because it's strange because I talked about this a couple of days ago that when I was on somebody else's podcast and once they saw the film, it's like they had a bunch of questions for me because they had experienced the same things. And it was with the middle part 2. Right. And that was the eye opener for a lot of people so far that have seen the middle part 2, that they've all sort of kind of experienced the same things you went through and the other people as well.
Mm-hmm. We're all just normal people. We're no one special. Me and Robert talk about this all the time. Why are we seeing this stuff? We're nobody special. It's just something that happened. So we just got to take it and run with it.
Yeah, exactly. And just keep on giving disclosure, man. That's what it's about, because one day I think that we'll, finally figure out what these things really wanted or what is it exactly, what's their agenda is, and why only showing themselves to a certain amount of people and why do this to some folks one way or another. But I think one day we will find out exactly why. These things happen. But Ryan, thank you, brother, for being on the show today. I know I know we had some technical difficulties. Hey, but now we know.
I know.
hey, get the headphones. Put them in your pocket. Put them somewhere else. Say you lost them.
Right.
I'm kidding. She's gonna say, I don't want that man in my house. He owes me some headphones.
Y'all are fun.
All right, brother. Thank you for being on the show tonight. I will point people your way. I'll throw some links onto your pages on there after this podcast is done. And like I said, keep doing what you're doing, man. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
I'll
brother.
see y'all later.
Okay, have a good one. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation that I had with Mr. Ryan Keaton. There's a couple of parts that broke up in there, but it's okay. At least the information got out to you guys. And, you were able to understand where he was coming from, when he sees these things and what people think about him. And then when he tries to put it on social media, a lot of these group sites, some of them, they start trolling on you. You know what I mean? And these are supposed to be open platforms to help people. But when they don't police them, they allow these things to happen, and it's hard for people to reach out for help. Right, because that's what it is. He just wanted to see if anybody else was seeing him, just like he was, right? And that's the whole thing of Alien Strand Disclosure Project. You can find us on Facebook. You can go to asdp-ufo.com as well. We're all there. Shows all our information, contact information. If you want to get a hold of any of the ASDP representatives through email, you can do that, and they will get back with you as soon as they get the message, okay? You can also report your UFOs there. Go to alienstrand.com too. Don't forget, we have free web TV there, so you can watch some free web TV on alienstrand.com. You'll see it'll say Alien TV. Click on that. There's a paranormal channel right below that. You go see Skylight 1. You can click that. It's free web TV for you guys to watch. If you're bored, you can see like different documentaries, movies, films, even the middle's on there. So you can go check that out, all right? So I hope you guys really, like I said, enjoyed today's podcast and got a lot of information, as much as you could out of it, and I know that some parts are a little difficult to hear sometimes, but, that's just the way it is sometimes with these, electronic devices, man. Some things work perfectly. Sometimes they don't. I don't get it. Especially when we talk about UFOs. Is Big Brother listening? I don't know. Maybe. I think so. Don't forget to catch the middle two on Amazon Prime. Go check it out. And I really hope you do go check it out. Give us a thumbs up after you finish watching it if you really enjoyed the film, and then go to your Amazon Prime app on your phone, not on the TV, because it's not going to let you do it. Go on your Amazon and then leave us a review if you can, if you want. You don't have to, but be nice. Give us a thumbs up. All that does is helps it spread out a little further to other countries. Right now, it's just in the United States and the United Kingdom. And I think Ireland can actually see it right now as well. So, but the more people that click on, like on it, and watch it, the more countries it'll spread out through Amazon Prime. They'll know that it's a populist kind of thing, and they'll have to get it out to the other countries as well, right? And that's the best way to do it, man. For other people to actually see the disclosure, and be learning ufologists just like you guys are. I really hope you guys are learning a lot of ufology through my podcast. Like I said, go follow me on Rumble. The links are there. It's going to say all my links. Click on that. That'll show us our Rumble where we go video live there. We go live on X, YouTube, Rumble, and a little bit on Facebook. We're kind of backing off from Facebook. That's why I'm trying to bring this to. You got to remember, man. We try to get on as many platforms as possible to give the disclosure. I don't care what kind of platform it is. It doesn't matter to us. We're just getting on there to give the disclosure. If you notice, there is nothing else that I talk about but disclosure, okay? So regardless of which app you're watching it on, or what they're about or whatever, it doesn't matter to us. To us, it's just about disclosure and trying to get on these different platforms that don't cancel you, man. That don't, just stop your videos from coming out for other people to see. That's why we go to Rumble, because Rumble doesn't do that to people. They're the only open platform that you can actually, and Twitter, which is X now. You can actually watch anything that you want to. It's an open platform, man, without having, any kind of, construct. Oh, you can't put that. People can't see that. As far as like UFOs, aliens, things like that, right? So, as long as we keep it clean, right? That's what we're trying to do. Keep it clean. But until then, you know what? Oh, don't forget, catch us on 28, 29 platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all those good ones. We're on Google, Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere, man. You can even ask Alexa. Play some Alien Strand podcast. Till then, you have yourselves a good day. Have yourselves a good evening. And have yourselves a good night.
You want to learn about CE5 and extraterrestrial contact? Download my new book, now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple, and 14 other platforms. Book authored by Donald Ledesma. CE5, Frequencies of Contact.